Greetings and welcome to Keen in Space and Empyrion, and I figured this could be a fun game to start up in and show. I used to play this a long while back, and it's been still getting a lot of attention for its updates, which is nice. A lot of patches. It came out with DLC, and that showed me it's been released. Oh my. I have not paid attention to this for a long while. But it's been a fun survival game that's set in space, so let's do this. Let's start up a game, and we're going to do the survival aspect of it. And I'm going to, let's see here. Ooh, spell it right. In space. Let's set it. Then, let's see here. The idea, I want to set up a planet that's a little different. If you want to start on a planet that's idyllic, then you go with Aqua, which was our first one here. This is a temperate planet. You're good to go. You can take off your helmet, and you've got all the resources you need. This one is tough. Like, you will be freezing to death constantly, and it is a lot of fun. I like the desert start. I don't know why, I just love it because I have to deal with the breathable atmosphere, and that's not a thing. I like the fact that we have some rare resources. It allows us to go a quick level up a bit. This one can be fun if you are ready for a lot of combat. There's a lot more fighting in this one. In the orbit one, this can be a blast because you're already in space, and then you can just kind of decide where you go from here. They all connect to each other, so don't worry about getting to these planets in time. They all do connect. So I'm going to start here. Now, we are going to customize things a bit, so we're going to go from medium, and we're going to actually change a couple things. So I don't mind any of these things. I kind of get annoyed by the having to recollect the inventory on death thing, because sometimes you have epic weapons, and you don't really want to lose them, so I'm going to say keep on death just toolbar items, and I won't cheese it. I won't put things down to like ammo and a gun. If I lose the things, I just don't want to lose the rare resources if something weird happens. We won't worry about the progression speed. Sometimes it's nice to turn this on high, just so you can start building things quick. These we can leave as they are. Then, I'm not worried about that. Craft speed though, I want this fast. I do want things to go quicker when it comes to just building. I don't want to spend a lot of time on that. Now, I am going to say that this gets turned off. This turns into just a creature comfort of gameplay, right? Like, I don't want to have to constantly load my character in like I can't carry the things I need to use to build. I mean, obviously in Medieval Dynasty, you're carrying around 40 logs. That's not happening. Dude can carry 1 or 2 logs at most. So that's like a setting that's off. I don't want to worry about this one because I want to just do things. And then this one, the CPU point system is just a limiter on the size of your ships, essentially, where you can't have the most amazing technologies until you have a computer that can handle the processing, and you can't have a ridiculous load of things on it unless you have the CPU points to do it. So we'll keep that one out for now. All right, let's make this happen and go into space. And this game is basically it is kind of a resource gathering game with also some survival aspects, and there is a storyline going on in the background. The storyline's alright. I've played through a good chunk of the early portion of it. I haven't played through the entirety of the storyline because I just get distracted by building spaceships and flying through space gathering resources. Let's be real. It's what I want to do. I want to just start on this planet, and I want to have that moment where it's like, okay, I just built my ship, and now I get to leave atmosphere for the first time. Ooh, bang. That's not good. Alright, we gotta pilot our ship to its demise. We should probably steer it to somewhere more convenient. That's problematic, right? Yeah. Ooh, trees. Yes. Should probably crash where there are trees. We want to crash over this way because there are resources here we can take advantage of. So let's just hurry this process up and speed ourselves down. Dun 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 dun. Full speed crashing. Ah. Boom. There we go. Now we just have to wait for our ship to stop crashing. We'll jump ourselves out of here. And if we're lucky, there's resources we can get out of it. I'm not sure though. Alright, our survival tools are best friend, and I just threw it on the ground. Let's take that bad boy back up. Alrighty, so we can do a few things. Defense mode's, defend yourself, go figure. Salvage mode we can use to steal resources from this thing. And if we're fortunate, we can steal a couple pieces. Alright, let's see here. Can we steal any fuel from this? That'd be super cool. Nope. Unfortunate. So we're getting experience for stealing resources off of this. Got 1 glass plate and that's it. Oh, boo. Well, it's not going to give us a lot of items for the start of it. So let's see if we can take just some pieces of this and get it. No, it's not going to. Okay. So that being the case, we'll just see if the RCS gives us. It will not. So it's on to gathering resources. So in this game, you gather your resources up, And there will be a storyline, obviously, as we can go through and press tab. And this is a silicone rock. There we go. We have silicone ore. Press tab, we can go into our PDA, and then it's going to give us a few things we can do to learn the game if we want. Solo missions are here. You can choose to do this. You can choose to do the different missions for the different corporations, and you'll get cred for each of these different organizations. We started out in the Pirate Clan region, so we'll be doing this. We'll be doing a mission that is very specific to this planet. You also notice on the radar on the upper right that there are these red emblems. Now those red indicators tell us that there are things that we can go to, POIs, if you will, points of interest that we can go to. The two on the top on the north means that there are two particular points of interest there, and in the south there's only one. It could be resources buried underground. It could be a thing that we can go to and get a quest. It could be just a random POI with things to loot. So those are what we see here. You notice on the lower left I have a health bar with the plus sign, the traditional hospital medical symbol. I'm gathering up these little guys because they're plant protein. They look like little hot dogs. And I'm also looking to get some more of these fibers. I'm going to make fuel, and we're going to be starting on biofuel, and we move up to better resources in time. Alright, so a lot of what's going to happen is we need to gather resources. We need to gather rock, we need to gather iron, we need to gather all of the things. Iron is going to be key for us at the very start because we need to build a constructor. We are going to get experience for a lot of the things that happen throughout the start, and we can mine quite literally anything, and I can dig into the ground if I so chose. We'll dig in a hole in the side of a hillside shortly here. You might notice the constant clicking sound going on in the background. That is the fact that we are being constantly irradiated on this particular planet, which is definitely a problem. And it's why we're going to need to get ourselves a shelter fast. Alright, most of what I need right now are crushed stone, so you'll see them kind of going for these rocks a lot because I know I need stone to dig myself in a base. And that base we're going to make out of concrete at the start. The survival tool will be our main resource gatherer for the start of the game, and we will upgrade to a drill. We'll go to a multi-tool. We'll go loot some sites at some point too and get ourselves going. But for the start of this, I want a base. This will give us carbon, and let's see here. A lot of the resources we see over there. Ooh, hold up. Turn our jetpack. Press J for jetpack, and then we can float for a bit. You'll see that there's a bar on the left by our helmet symbol, and that tells us how much fuel or a charge is left in our jetpack, and luckily we don't have to refuel our jetpack with anything specific, so that's handy. Copper is going to be a very important resource early in the game, so we're going to dig a bunch of that up. With our fancy futuristic tool. We've come a long way since the medieval era, teleported into the far future with our anti-ray gun. Now this might feel, at some point in time, it's going to feel a lot like Space Engineers, in the sense that we're building ships and traveling into space, but the realism in this game is not as realistic. It's a lot more fantasy based. So what we're going to be doing, I mean, here I am running around with a beam based mining tool, whereas in other games it would be more direct and you have to use an actual structure to the mining. Oh, look at that, space whale. Cool. But the fantasy aspect of this is a lot stronger, which allows us to kind of just, you know, allow ourselves a little suspension of the whole realism thing, right? Now, I gotta be cautious. We don't have a way to breathe air yet. And if I run a lot, my character is going to get more tired. And that stamina bar, which on the left we see our plus sign for our symbol for health. Underneath that, you'll see a food icon to say that's how much we're eating. You'll notice I've gathered a lot of plant protein. And underneath that, you'll see like a run symbol. That run symbol is our stamina bar. If I run a lot, if I use my stamina up a lot, then what's going to happen is the character is going to get more hungry. And when the stamina bar goes down, when it refills, here, let's drain it a bit. Notice how immediately our food bar went down. So now we're at 350. Let's let it recharge. You notice the food bar is dropping as our stamina bar is regenerating. And our oxygen bar, the next one down, which looks like a tank, it would look like a scuba tank or air tanks on the back. That is our air supply, of course, and that is now dropping. I don't have a direct source of oxygen just yet, but we will very soon. So the first thing we need to do is know what we're up against. Then we need to start getting our resources going on so we can survive this first day and then thrive. And I gotta tell you, the thing that is obviously my favorite part of this is just that idea of I crashed here, I'm going to leave planet and I'm going wherever I want. I want to fly free into space. I want to do all the things. Go trade at different depots to make some cash and then use that cash to get resources quicker and then build myself an epic ship or an epic starship. That's where I want to be. So for this, I'm going to gather some resources and I'll see you after that. I'm going to end up building our base right in that area over there and I'm going to gather these bits up. I didn't let you know about the trees. You can definitely harvest the trees and you get logs. We're going to need that to build our first shower. And the shower is going to take away that radiation that we're getting built up on our bodies, which we will need. There we go, wood logs. Boom. Alright, onward. We've reached level 4, and we have a lot of resources, and it's really starting to get time to crunch it, because I'm at 173 for my oxygen. We don't want to wait too much longer. I'm going to click on the tech tree. Let's look at some of the things we can unlock. And our first thing we want to think about are tools, miscellaneous. These are random things we can do, and here's the first thing we need. We need to unlock this thing. It only costs us 1 point, we have 45, so we'll double click on that and take it. You can also click the unlock button. Portable heater and cooler, it can be useful at the start. The wireless connection we will eventually need, but at the start of the game, I'm not at a point where I need to worry too much about it. Do need to, well, why not, we'll take it. Tools wise, I will want a multi-tool, and an ore scanner makes big cash, which we'll talk about later. I need a base first off. So what we really need here is we need to get ourselves going. A small constructor, that's going to allow us to build things early in the game. I want that cargo box so I can store things. We'll need an ammo box for our base defense. Food processor is not necessary at the start just yet. Our portable constructor can take care of it. Small generator is nice, and an oxygen station will help in time, and obviously we need a fuel tank if we hope to run fuel. I'm going to try to aim, there we go, we want a better gun. And the assault rifle, I think, is kind of your go-to first good thing to do. Okay, with that, we've done a good job of getting a start, and we want to build that portable constructor right away. Here it is. We also need a water and H2O condenser, yeah. I'm going to build that portable constructor first. I need fuel to put into this water condenser, and I will need that thing set up. You notice where it says placeable. This says terrain, so you just put it anywhere in the open area. When we build some of our other resources, you're going to see that they can only be placed inside of a base. And once we have this constructed, we will be building our next steps. But we haven't eaten yet, so why don't we eat a bit? Put it on the hotbar, and then right click will give us a split of things. Shift and click will send it all the way up into our inventory. And now, let's press 2 and eat away by left clicking. Press 2 and then I left clicked, and I'm eating away. While we're waiting, I suppose I could finish gathering some things. These fire moss scrapings we can harvest, but we're not going to use that for quite a while. It's still something. You can gather just about anything, and you do get experience for all the things you do, the actions you do when you get a resource out of it, or when something, when you get a resource or when you salvage something, when you gain something from it. Now that also counts for if you use a weapon on something and you do damage to it. We're going to gain experience there too. Okay, we gathered a few things. And we're almost done. We got our portable constructor. Let's put that out there. And real quick, this is our world that we're on right now, right? You can click, I'm left clicking and dragging, and these are the parts of it I don't know yet. We crashed here and we aren't clear on where we came from. This is a territory marker. These are the pirates, which we'll get to a little later. Now we can look here to see map markers if we put any down. Go here if we want to go back to here. There's our self, there's our rescue pod, our ship that we crashed on. And this is where we'll be building. So this, we can go into this is the space, the solar system, if you will, or the system map. And these are different planets. If we click on them, we can see kind of like what's going on. I want an info panel so I can talk about what's going on in these. This will tell us about that planet. Oh, check it out. Resources. Promethean, I need that. Copper, okay. Not a lot of copper, but a thing. Omicron. Ooh, gold. And then we can go click in here. If we want to know what's in the orbit around them, here we go. Around it is copper, around it is titanium. And here, oh, there's a lot of things orbiting this one. Anything on the planet we're talking about? Pentax, that's going to be our warp fuel. Okay, so there's a number of places we can get to, but we aren't doing that until we have a spaceship. We're going to need a spaceship that can travel and also have a warp drive. Warp drives allow us FTL, faster than light travel. And that's going to be a big deal for us, and we'll get there, y'all. We'll get there. So for now, did we get our stuff done? We have a portable constructor, we have our water and our condenser. This thing needs to be put down now, and it needs fuel in it. So let's get these two things next to each other. And then I'm going to put items in here that I want to build with. I'm holding on shift, and I'm just left clicking so they all get dropped in. Glass could be used. Now I need this thing to start making me fuel so that I can start getting myself in a spot where I'll survive. Because right now we're doomed. Absolutely doomed. Fuel's here, we do biofuel. It takes 10 of our resources. At this rate, we have 101. Ooh, we might end up, we might be in trouble, y'all. Because we're low on oxygen, and I haven't focused on getting this thing up and running. It needs fuel to run. Oh dear, what are we gonna do? Well, for now, panic. Actually, tell you what, let's do this. Now that this thing's making fuel, it has a queue. Let's start making our key items. We need a base starter, and then we need concrete blocks. I'm gonna hold down shift, and it'll build 10 blocks for me when I hold down shift and left click. So we're gonna need a ridiculous amount of these. I'm just gonna go straight ham and get 100 of these things running. We need this thing. I'll take it out, and then let's put it in here. I'll shift and left click, and it automatically gets put in there. You notice it vanished because it already consumed it. I'm gonna get my next item, which is a small oxygen bottle, in 86 seconds. Will we live? Yeah, this is gonna be tight though. It's okay. It's okay. We'll make it. Ooh, more fuel. Okay, let's do this, and then left click again, shift left click. Look at that. Now it's in there. Now, faction access. You can do this multiplayer. I haven't played it multiplayer yet, but that would be something I will look forward to trying in the future. At this point, I need this thing just to keep building up my blocks, and then I can build my base. So it does sometimes get stuck in these little spots where it's like, oh, it's not done, but it's done. If you just exit and go back into it, sometimes it kind of finishes up. You notice it went back and redid that. It does just happen every once in a while. Alrighty. We'll put our last fuel in here. 44 seconds later, we should be good to go. And what I'm going to do is just gather resources. And again, I'm not going to run, because if I start running, I'm going to drain my stamina bar too fast, and we are not going to survive this first day. We will die. We will die of not having enough oxygen. So, well, right click, by the way. Right click is how we navigated this one. And we'll go resource mode and just gather stuff up. There are some decent areas to go get things, but for now, it's all about just stone. I need crushed stone so I can make more cement, and we could just mine straight into the hillside. Ah, look at that. Lots of resources down here that we can take advantage of. Eggs, other assorted things, and plant protein. Ah, we are now in the red. We're at 55, so let's head over there and see if we have any oxygen yet. Otherwise, maybe we'll have a small panic. There it is. So we'll take that, put it straight on our bar, press 2, 125. We are better off. Now, the next one's going to give us is purified water. It can still be used to get us oxygen. It's just not going to be the same amount. And purified water is used in crafting. I'm going to dig me a hole in the mountainside just to show you the idea here. That you can just literally go anywhere and dig wherever you want, do whatever you want. On the map, there will be resource deposits, and we can dig down, and then we'll actually gather resources from those. And there'll be like specific areas where there's like, hey, let's say there's silicone or iron or other sort of resources. Ooh, now we have a problem. Getting attacked by a thing. 206 health. Let's see here. We'll have to figure out what kind of thing is attacking us now. If it's a drone, that thing is going to be out of my range to, ooh, that's problematic. Because I don't have a tool that's going to fire that far out. So, we'll have to just wait this beast out and hope that it decides that we are no longer a threat. Otherwise, we're going to get shot dead. That's 206 health, And I did not make a pistol yet, and I do not have a major way to defend myself at this time without using this kind of tool, this salvager's tool, and or survival tool. And its damage is not that great, and its range is oh so bad. Like, the tool only attacks at the same range as it mines, so let's see how far back we're at. Are we even mining that wall? No, we're mining the wall right here. Yeah, so we'd be doomed if we head out there against that thing right now. So yeah, all kinds. Oh no, there's another one coming. Oh, we're in trouble. Might have to run out there and tell our thing to start making a weapon real quick. They appear to be moving away decently. And for now, I'm trying to gather up just any crushed stone I can get away with in the area here. You do need to dig into the rock side here. So you see all this stone down here? That's where we're actually going to gather up some of these resources. Takes a while. There we go. And it's going to feel a little random at first. Each of these has a different chance of giving you, it's a variable amount of stone. 2, 4, 1. Sometimes we'll get up to 6 or 7. Alright, let's book it out there and grab some stuff. Make a weapon. We did unlock the assault rifle, so that'll be kind of handy. Alright, where's our dude at? Good distance away. Check on our oxygen supply. Purified water. Now with purified water we can press tab. Sorry, I'm going in my inventory by pressing tab. We can make this emergency oxygen. I obviously need that way more than I need a crafting resource. So I'm going to make this emergency oxygen. When it's done, it gives us 35 oxygen. Well, that's better than where we're at. There's those. Okay, there's those guys. Let's get our base and let's get these blocks and then let's see. I'll go to here. Weaponry. Yeah, we're going to need that thing. Okay, when I clicked on the construction queue, if I hold down shift and click, I drop the count down so that I can force it to change priorities. I don't think you can move things in the construction queue, and a single left click will actually drop the count down. Okay, so with that assault rifle, we'll take them out. Ooh, that thing is not in a great position for me. We did get some bandages when we started out. That is not the bandages, sir. There we go. But we will put that on and heal up a bit, just because we don't need to die this fast. Oh, it got stuck in that queue, so if I leave it and come back into it, it'll reset and it'll go back at it again. Alright, we could set up our base. Here's that whole volume mass thing. See how I'm carrying too many blocks? I mean, 5,312 out of 600. I can only carry 600. It just makes it a pain in the butt to build things, and I am not for it. I want to be able to build my stuff and just move on. It'd be helpful to build our base in an area where we don't have to adjust too much, but it's not a big deal. Now, where's our Nemesis? Where's our enemies here? Alright, they're in the distance. Good. We'll drop some resources back in there so they can keep constructing up. And we'll need a ton of blocks, so again, back at it. 150 rounds later, okay. Let's equip it by pressing 2. Press R to reload. I can zoom in a bit, but honestly, this is not a fancy weapon. We aren't going to get a lot out of it, but it will defend us. Alright, if I go to 6, I can switch to my block. If I right-click, I can change the shape of this thing to anything I want. If I go to all, you've got options, y'all. That's page 1 out of 3. There's a lot of really beautiful decorating you can do in this game, and I'm looking forward to it. We'll go to the basics, and that just keeps things simple. For now, I'm just building myself a base that is a brick house. We're here to just make this thing and be done. So I'm going to make some of these parts up. We'll get ourselves a door at some point. It is almost the end of day 1. Now I can also press F5 and then my drone comes out, and my drone is kind of like a little pilotable building resource guy who can fly around and help me get things set up. So I'm clicking and dragging so I can put these down, and you notice that I'm already basically done with our first bits. I'm going to build up to a height of 3, because most structures at the beginning are only a height of 2, and we're not looking to get fancy here. We're looking to get protected. We're looking to get out of radiation. We're looking to get out of the sun. Now, we also need to double check where we're at, see what's going on here. Oh my. Well, 850 rounds is going to do us fine, so I'll click these out and go. If I can get through that many rounds this early on, I'm fighting a lot. Alrighty, so our hazards are surviving against, dying of lack of oxygen. Speaking of which, ooh, 2 bottles. We're in a good place now. Alright, let's get that up to you. And look at that. Now we're sitting at 200. This is going to be fine. We still have 2 energy supplies left, and we're going well. We can always make some more of these and move on. Alright. For this part, we need to wait for a number of our blocks to get done, and this will be the limiter for us, is just getting this part done. Oops, that was excessive. I'll hold down left shift and go down a bit. Might not be bad to have some windows, right? Steel plates and glass plates. Now when you click on it, it will automatically make the resources or the components it needs. Like you'll see I'm making concrete blocks, but I never made cement or rock dust. It will take care of it for you, which is really handy. I'm choosing not to build my base out of steel because I want that iron for things like components and weaponry and things like that. So that's why I'm choosing to avoid that. We can also start making energy bars at some point. We don't have to though, because we also have our own survival container where if I I'll left click and take half of these, and then I'll just click on these and just make a bunch of bars here. And I have 2 output spots, so I can use that for making my protein. Alright, well y'all, what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to gather up a few more things, get the base going, and then I'll see you when we can finish it up. Obviously the sun is setting for us, or a star is setting, and it does rise in the east and set in the west as you expect. There's our west. Now, it can be really pretty. I mean, that's gorgeous, right? Like, that's fun to see. And what I love about this is going to these different planets and seeing these beautiful atmospheres and things like that. It is really just a fun experience for me. Let's check where we're at. We have 60. Ooh, man, that's so good. I only built 1 glass block? No, I ain't having it. We need a few more of those. Oop, I want to get these glass parts done first. Yeah, let's do that. And that's using left click. By the way, if you want to, you can go into this and check any of the tasks. Like, hey, it says this is an action, and it tells us exactly how things work. And then you can go here, you can even see video manuals, which is kind of handy. You can see these things and go forth and go and actually do the tutorial. You can click and activate the tutorial, which can be handy if you really want to get a little help on things. By all means, when you click there, you'll see them. For a solo missions, we can read through this to say, hey, here's where we're at, and this is giving us a structure for how things work. This will go to our log for what have we done so far, and yeah, it's there's a lot of great resources here for you to look through. I want to finish up our building, and that means taking our blocks and putting them in here. Gathered up a lot of resources. Should probably dump them. There we go. Oh, you know what? Oh, that's just me striking lots of keys. 5. And then let us do this. I realize I don't have a door. What are you gonna do? A base with no door? Oh, silly. Who does that? Doors are over here in components. Let's do an automatic door. We'll build a couple of them. Then we also need our cargo boxes for things. I wouldn't mind a refrigerator, but we're maybe not there yet. We will need solar panels because at some point we're going to need energy for this thing. A solar capacitor, that's what we need right away. I tell you what, we should probably go into our tech unlocks and double check where we're at. Do we have the ability to unlock solar panels that are bigger? We do it. And we make sure we take them right away because those solar panels are going to pay off way, way more. I'm at level 4 and I only have 1 point left. We're done. So now, let's build this thing up. If I press L, I'll turn on my flashlight, and then we can finish this structure up just quickly. There we go. I just need a roof on this thing. You can fly a certain range away. Could I have used this drone to attack that thing? Maybe. It wouldn't have worked out very well for me. I would have been shot dead before I got much of it. Oh, let's get these things set up. I'll make a door in the front and the back so we can go into our mine. Let's say that that's part of our priority. And why don't we use some of that glass for fun? Build these up. I'm left clicking and just dragging to set. We're already out of blocks. And since I'm over here, my drone does the flying. I don't have to. That's handy. We have to put all the things we're going to build with on our bar so we can switch between them. Press F5 to get our drone back out. And with this, with the glass, let's right click and let's change it to a giant panel because this will be fun. Now I can see outside. One thing to note though is when you place this down, I can't build anything in the squares that are immediately next to this panel of glass. So if I want to put this thing out there, it'd be nice if I could plant it on the outside so it's not blocking my ability to build within my base. Then we'll build this thing up. Now we have a nice glass window there to see the sunrise. On this side we could do the same. We'll press, so to rotate, the insert key allows me to switch the axis of rotation. Delete does the same thing in reverse. The end key will rotate, and this is clockwise for me. The home key rotates counterclockwise, the opposite. So I do that to help me get my things positioned. Then we just need to place our glass panel on this place and try to get it to match up. Sometimes it can help to actually have so tricky to get it to about that's it. Oh, it tells me I need to actually have somewhere underneath it. Press F and we can gather it up. There we go. How about that? And now I'm shooting my gun. That's funny. There we go. We'll put that out there just so we have it available. And then we can build up. Now, I didn't leave myself a door, did I? Better get that. So press F5 and look at that. I'm going to have this thing done here shortly. Click it. And, oh, we don't have a walkway up? We can solve that problem real quick. Take out a ramp. There we go. Now, press escape to get out of that. And then we need our doorway. We can either choose to take this and set it ourselves. Where would it be? We'll do this. And right click, I can actually change that door, make it look how I want. I could have it centered, which I kind of like. Let's do that. And then we'll put our blocks up. Make sure we're not still on ramp mode. Oh, we are. Look at that. Oh, my goodness. Ah, yeah. Let's go here and go to salvage mode. That was silly. We can hold this down, we'll break those blocks apart. So then we can just set the right ones. Oh, it's going to take a while because I made a boo-boo. And it has a lot of hit points, right? It'll drain it down, and I'll get back salvage if it's a block that has salvageable parts. Alright. Now, the key thing, always remember what block type you had set up last time, because obviously I don't need ramps over there. That's going to look real weird. There we go. And then you might notice that we are... Boom. There we go. Now we are fully enclosed. And you just notice that on the right side, radiation count is gone. I'm not hearing the clicking anymore. I am now in a shelter. Perfect. Okay, the only thing left, of course, is power. There's nothing powering this beast. So we will need to power this. And that's a great task for the morning. Alright, what we can do for the rest of this evening, though, is... Solar panels small. We'll have to build a couple solar panels that are smaller just for now. The capacitor is going to allow us to run a solar panel. The cargo boxes are going to allow us to go and set our inputs. And our small collector, our small constructor, is going to allow us to build. And I do think... There we go. We need that small constructor as soon as possible. Okay. See you after that a little bit. And by the way, if you want to skip ahead, this works well. If you're ever in a spot where you're like, oh, dude, I need somewhere to hide out, I need shelter, I want to just skip through this part of the day, you can just put out your tent and sleep for 8 hours. For now, we're going to just get ourselves eating, get ourselves set here, and we can eat energy bars for days. And then, of course, there you go. Oh, if you eat too much and you overstuff your character, you get a miniature debuff. So you get a buff for being well fed, but you can actually debuff yourself by going a little too extreme. There we go. Let's just go way up on our action collection, so we are set to go. Now, it is worth noting that since the sun rises in the east and sets in the west, that it's important to make note of where you are. I'm right on the equator. Oh my goodness. I'm ever so slightly north of the equator, so my best placement for these things is going to be oriented so it's north facing, so that I can catch a little bit of that. I also could make these true flat, and then we'll just collect energy from it as we go. I do need to get my bearings. If that's the west, then get my west and east down. That means, oh, and I'm in here, I'm pressing spacebar to rise, C to drop. I'll rotate it. This is going to face north, so we'll place one of those panels out. And let's get our second panel. Now, obviously, we aren't going to be able to use these panels yet because it is not morning. We aren't going to be generating electricity just yet, but I do want to make sure I get this set. Could I place a panel here facing east and one facing west? Yes, you could. And there will be a little bar on it that will indicate efficiency. There will be a light on it. That'll be down here to tell us how well we're doing with that. You also notice on the map we have a marker that says base, so we know where we are, and we can track it down. There we go. I can also put a custom marker here to say home. And put a click of this on it, and then make it a waypoint. And if it says we're moving approach, oh, I can show it on my HUD. That'll be nice. Then it always shows up for me. I'm gonna accept. Now I have a marker for home at all times. Alright, y'all. Now, I didn't show another thing. N. If I press N to say my building debug, I can show symmetric planes, I can show connecting the base, I can show a lot of things. Center massive object is nice. Showing structural integrity is important because if you place things too far out, you can actually... Ooh, airtight blocks. Those are all airtight, which is great. Let's go like this. You notice that this is elevated off the ground a bit. Those are lighter or darker green, meaning that they're less stable. Let's build some things out and show you what I mean by the structural integrity. These can handle a bit. There you go. Now we're starting to get problematic. if we keep going, there and there in the red, now we're deep red. At some point, we're going to be too far afield, and we'll break the entire structure. Press F to pick them up, get them back again. So maintaining structural integrity matters. You need to be connected to the ground, a foundation, and then you can build up from there. Y'all, this is a good start. I hope that you enjoyed this video, and it's a, a different thing, right? Like, this is us starting a different game. We'll take a nap for the night and wake up in the morning, and I'll see you for the next episode. Take care.